Welcome to Love Life After, where we embark on the beautiful journey of love, life, and resilience. I am Christelle, your host and friend on this exploration. Whether you're joining us for the first time or you're a cherished member of our family, thank you for being here. On this podcast, we'll share personal tales of triumph, heartache, and the incredible transformation that unfold after every challenge. So grab your favorite glass of wine, cup of tea, or coffee and find a cozy spot and let's dive into this magic of love, life, and everything that happens after the obstacle. And remember, your story is our inspiration, and together we'll navigate this journey ahead.
Baby, you're my coat. She got me feeling like a dope fiend. I'm addicted to a black queen. Baby, you're my coat. She got me feeling like a dope fiend. I'm addicted to a black queen.
Welcome to Love Life After, the podcast where we explore resilience, healing, and finding joy in life's toughest moment. I am Christelle, and today I want to do something a little different. I want to be vulnerable with you guys. I want to share one of the most personal story of my journey, a story that changed me in ways that I've never expected. Because I feel like, a lot of people have been asking me, so how did you get to where you are now after experiencing the trauma that you've shared with us? So I want to take this season, I believe I said that a little bit last time, where I want to take this season to share some of those personal moments that happened on my journey with you guys, hoping that it can help someone or, you know, help in whatever way that it will help and allow me to really share myself with you. So I'm asking, as I share, I would love your feedback on, whether you feel like some of the steps that I've taken had would have, impacted someone else or you in any other way. Because, the stuff that I've experienced are my experience. And I really, like this season, I really don't want to edit anything out. I just want to be as me, as authentic as I can. So if there's anything you feel like, you want to hear more of, just let me know. And I'm willing to share whatever I can to help in any way or to encourage that, no matter what you're going through in life, you're not alone, that we're all, I feel like we're all here going through some things. And sometimes it just helps to be able to share that with other people. So I'm going to go ahead and just start. I'm just going to talk. If I feel like I need a break, I'm going to take a break. But I just want y'all to really listen and hear me out and just support everything that I'm sharing with y'all and just allow me to be vulnerable. Okay, so because everything I'm sharing, and I think I probably mentioned this again, but everything I'm sharing is stuff that personally happened to me that I'm okay now sharing with the world because I'm in a, I guess you could say I'm in a better space than I was 6, 7 years ago when I first started this podcast. Because for so long, I thought that infidelity will be one thing that broke me. And to be honest, it almost did break me. But what I didn't realize at the time was that the pain I felt wasn't just from the betrayal, it was a window into something that I had been carrying long before my marriage. So, in the process of me trying to pick up all the pieces that I made decision to, go to therapy and get help, it was in that space that I started to really unravel a much, like way much deeper truth about myself. And it was a truth that I had hidden like way even before, I met my husband now. So I just want to like just go a little deeper into it this season, but I'll definitely share a lot more as we go on. But I'm going to share some of the lessons and some things that helped me along the way. And I hope that this helped anybody listening. And if not, and I don't know what else I'm going to tell you, but I'm just in a better space where I feel like I'm okay sharing this without feeling shame or judgment. Or even if I'm feeling judged, I don't really care anymore because I feel like I've hit myself for so long that I'm okay with sharing who I am truly to the world. So I'm gonna go ahead and just dive in, and I will share more throughout the season with you. So just bear with me and allow me to be vulnerable with you guys. Before I share more, I want to take a moment to just define some words and concepts that I didn't really fully understand at the time when things were happening. Because I feel like sometimes we go through things without realizing that, the language of the stuff that we're going through at the time, like, it's really hard for us to explain, especially to ourselves when we're going through things. So I just want to like take the this time to kind of explain a little bit about some of the words that I was feeling, or just not me, but other people feel, but really don't understand it until after the fact, or sometime while they're in their healing journey. So one of the word is betrayal trauma. So I learned later on that betrayal trauma is the emotional distress that we feel when someone we love or trust deeply hurt us. And depending on the amount of the I guess you will say like the breaks or the trust that's broken, it's really hard to be able to trust the person if you don't really know, well, especially while you're going through it, you don't know how to or how to really explain or define that thing that you're going through. So it explained like why I felt so lost and disconnected at the time, not just from my husband, but also from myself, and sometimes even like from the people around me. I guess the people that I would trust or I thought I trusted at the time. So that's one word to really think on, especially when you're going through things and you don't really know. But if you know, like, the saying, when you know better, you do better. So when you know now, and when you get in a situation where you feel like things are not going your way or because of the trauma you experienced, just be mindful and I guess have like that self awareness that, you're not alone, that even though you're going through these things, that you can seek help. So that's one word that I wanted to share. There's a few more. I'm going to just go through them. The next one is avoidance. So avoidance was one of the other words that resonated with me a lot, really. Well, I guess you will say at the time it did really resonate with me because it's like, so what avoidance is when we push people away that we thought, or I guess our feelings, because they're too painful to face. So okay, let me say that again. So when we push people away, or our thoughts or feelings, because it's too painful for us to face, so we're avoiding. I hope I'm making sense. So we're avoiding the pain by pushing the people away. So for years I know for a fact that I avoided confronting, my assault, the people that assaulted me at the time, when I shared that story. So I was thinking if I didn't acknowledge it, then it couldn't hurt me. But avoiding it wasn't healing, it was actually hurting me without me knowing. So it actually delayed the process of me going through my healing journey. And of course, like, it wasn't until when I approach the person and really getting the apologies from that person that I didn't really know that I needed when the person reached out. But I'm not saying that this is good for everybody. This was, of course, with the help of my therapist. So I'm not saying go and find the person that have, wronged you or assaulted you or hurt you and confronted them by yourself. I'm not asking that. I'm not saying that. Please don't do that. Please get professional help before you decide on approaching anybody that hurt you. But what I'm saying is avoiding it will really hurt you in the long run. So try not to avoid the stuff that's going on in your life, especially if you are aware that you are going through some of those things. Just try not to avoid those things. And then another one is healing, right? So, healing, when I think of healing now, I feel like I'm in healing every day. So, because the reason why I say I'm in healing every day, because I feel like we're not, as human, we're not fully healed completely because there are always triggers that come out of nowhere sometimes. And we try to find ways to deal with it, but it's really, really hard. So, I used to think that healing meant forgetting and just like, or moving on, right? But now I've come to understand that it's a journey because it's something that I'm continually doing every day. It's a process of accepting what happened and making peace with it, which all the problem that, I've explained and talked about before, I felt like I'm now learning how to live and fully regain the trust from just the people in my life now and making peace with like what happened in the past and really learning to just know that that part of my life is gone. So all I need to do now is move on from it. So that's what healing is. And then when you get to a place where you find peace and you no longer want to be in the place that you used to be that was holding you back, I promise you, you will feel your best ever. And that's where really self care and self love comes in place. So if you want to be in a place where you feel at peace with yourself, please seek help. Like go to a therapist. And if you don't have therapy, or if you don't have places where you could go and talk to people, get a coach. There are so many other coaches out there now that can help you get through your trauma. So I have a few more I want to share, but I'm going to wait on those and I'm going to talk about something a little different. So I want to talk about therapy. I feel like a lot of us think that therapy is something that would not help them. But honestly, I feel like therapy is what saved me from myself. Therapy became a space where I started to unpack all of this stuff that I've been sharing with y'all. I remember sitting across from my therapist one day. Like when I said completely broken, I was completely broken. And she asked me, "What do you think this is really about?" She said, "What do you think this is really about?" And I asked her, I said, "What do you mean?" So I really didn't really think more into it, but that question stayed with me a lot. That question was something that I will ask myself every now and then and be like, hmm, what do I think this really is all about? Because I didn't know what it was about at the time. I had no idea. I just knew that I didn't like the person I was and I wanted something to change. So I thought it was about my husband's choice, but as we dug deeper, I realized that it was all about my past, about how I've been carrying unspoken pain from my assault, and also how like that pain really has shaped my relationship with the intimacy and trust within my marriage and with myself. So I honestly do believe that in those therapy sessions, that's when I really started connecting the dots. And of course, I've shared a little about this to y'all, like, and that was one of the reasons why I felt like I withheld sex from my husband a lot. Why I struggled to communicate with my needs, and also why I felt like I wasn't enough. Like, even though I was there physically, emotionally, I was not there at all. I checked out because I just felt like I was not enough. Like, everything that I was doing was not enough. So why would I open myself up to that part or just be vulnerable with, with myself and my husband? So it was really a time in my life where I was really, really broken. I was like gone. I didn't really think much of myself at the time. I just felt really ugly and unwanted and unloved. But that was all in my head. That was how I felt because of what had happened. So being someone who's like went through those, traumatic things that happened and bringing that into my adult life, it really, really hurt me. And I didn't know at the time that all that stuff was happening. So when I say I've learned so much, like through this process, I've learned some powerful lessons that I want to continue to, like, share this with you, just for you and whoever's listening. If you are listening, hopefully it's not by accident. Uh, so you can note that even if you're going through these things, that you're not alone, that there are people out there that want to help you. And by just, taking one day at a time and knowing that you do matter, you are enough, you are loved, that there are people out there that care and want to help you. Those like really will well, I guess will take you a long way in your healing journey. So one of the lesson, I'm just gonna go through some of the lesson that, so a lot of these that I'm sharing with you was really like while I was going through some of these things, I've kept a journal. So a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be sharing this season was really about myself, and all the stuff that I share, I wrote down in my journal that I wanted to share. And then later on, after therapy, of course, and years of going through the healing process, I've realized and started like just writing things down and some lessons that I've like, okay, I figure, okay, this helped me. So I want to be able to share those with you. So one of the lessons that I wrote down back then when I first started my healing process was healing starts with acknowledgement. So you can't heal what you don't confront. And it's hard. And when I say it's hard, believe me, I know because I went through it. But admitting that, I was hurt and I needed help was the first step. So that was number one, which means acknowledging that it did happen. So number two was your past does not define you. Always remember that what happened in the past is not who you are today. Because for years I let the assault dictate how I showed up in my marriage, in my life. But I've learned that while, my past has shaped me, it doesn't define who I am today. And that's the second lesson I learned. And the third lesson is it's okay to ask for help. But while asking for help, my advice is to go to a trusted person. I would say go to a therapist, a coach. Try to avoid seeking help from a family member. You don't want to seek help from a family member, because I've learned hard that sometimes seeking help from family members will hurt your relationship more so than help your relationship. So I used to think, just like asking for help was a sign of weakness. But I guess that's where therapy taught me that seeking support is one of the strongest things that I could have done for myself. And I know that now because I experienced it and it definitely helped me. So That's the number three, by asking for help and seeking help. Number four is forgiveness is for you. When I say forgiveness is for you, forgiveness is for you. So when you are really to like, well, I guess what I'm saying is when you are ready to forgive someone, just know that it's really for you and not for the person. But also forgiveness for me, it was like one of the hardest lesson of all, because forgiving really didn't mean that the action were excused. It just meant that I was able to release the anger and the pain that were holding me hostage from the whole situation. Are you still thinking about starting your podcast? If your answer is still yes, look no further. Get you a host that you'd like to distribute to. I use Buzzsprout. If you're listening to this episode right now, just click the link in the description and it will send you to the site. But first, you need to get equipment and a software to record with. You can use Audacity or GarageBand. I use both. Once you record, just upload it on Buzzsprout to distribute through all your favorite platforms. And that's it. Remember, the website is buzzsprout.com. Again, buzzsprout.com. Happy podcasting. I hope sharing those lessons that I've learned throughout my journey can help anybody going through either similar situation or just any situation at all. So as I share this with you, I really just want you to really, okay, let's say, I want to invite you to reflect on your own life right now, like where you are in your life right now. Is there pain you've been avoiding? Are there like lessons waiting for you that you're trying to uncover? Or are you trying to get to the other side of the hurt that you've experienced? So, if that is you, if you like, someone who's been going through things and you're trying to figure out where to go from now, so I want you to just think about what healing might look like for you. It doesn't have to be perfect or, just linear or whatever. It just has to be something that you start somewhere. You could start anywhere. Just always remember that no matter what's going on, you could always start over. New beginning could start tomorrow, the next day. So if you at a loss and you come to a place where you feel stagnant, just start over. It's okay to start over. Don't hold yourself back from anything that's happening to you. So yeah, so I just want to encourage you to, think about those things. So invite your old self, right, back into your life and ask that person, is there pain that you have been avoiding? And if that's you, just like I said, just think about what healing will look like for you. So, with that being said, I just want to say thank you for just allowing me to be vulnerable and share my story with you today. And I hope that this, just sharing this part of me encourage you to take the next step in your own healing journey. And whatever that looks like for you, just start somewhere. Don't try to, you know, figure out what this might look like for you. Just like if it's help that you need to seek, seek help. If this journey that you want to go through it and you feel like you can't do it by yourself, definitely find you a therapist that can help you get through this. And if this episode resonated with you in any way, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, really share your story with me. Send me a message or leave me a review. And I feel like together we can all create a space where healing and growth are possible for like all of us. So, with that being said, you are stronger. Remember, just always remember that you are stronger than you know. And your story matter. And I want to hear it and I want to be able to share with the world so we can all do it together. So one of the reasons why I want to start sharing my story with you more, because someone reminded me why I started a podcast. And I know I share things in there that I felt like I needed to share at the time with y'all. But the person reminded me that, so how did you get here? How did you get to a place where you've forgiven yourself and you are now happy? So I want to be able to, share those steps with y'all this season, and hopefully it will help somebody. And like I said, if y'all have anything y'all want to share with me, just please email me at lovelifeafter18, and I would love to hear and share your story. With that being said, if y'all have any questions, comment, or any concern at all, please don't forget to email again at lovelifeafter18@gmail.com, or you can also hit me up on Love That Life After, or you can also just, find all my other social media. I'm also on TikTok as CC Will, and I'll make sure that I respond to all your messages, or even if you're comfortable with me reading it on the podcast, I would love to do that. With that being said, again, thank you so much, and I'll see y'all next time.